Okay, how's everybody doing today?
We are doing good, apart from the frustrations of all this.
That's very frustrating. So for this assignment, we have to do an oral presentation over 2 items to solve a conflict related to healthcare. You guys both have your items, correct?
Yeah, yeah, I think I have mine.
Okay.
I don't know how we can see.
Okay, so do either of you guys want to go first? Do you want me to go first? What?
Okay, I can go first. I don't even know if this is a thing, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay.
So this is what I came up with. I came up with like spoons. So then I said we have a teaspoon, which most of the people use it in healthcare, like measuring device or equipment. And I just say that it's not so accurate. Like we all just say, hey, use a teaspoon of sugar or use a teaspoon of, and most people we have different sizes of teaspoons. So I just feel like it's a complication when it comes to healthcare because you actually don't know how much a teaspoon can hold. And then I came up with a cell phone, and I said like the problem we have with cell phones, like I like cell phones because they're so convenient when it comes to like sharing messages or getting in touch with the world and everything else. But when it comes to healthcare, cell phones are super dirty, and most of the time we just see like doctors, everybody else using a cell phone because we tend to use the cell phone so much, like every 5 minutes probably. And I don't know how many people disinfect the cell phones before they, like use it or touch it and stuff like that. And I read somewhere where it says like studies have found that cell phones have like a lot of like bacteria and like just like really bad stuff that can cause MRSA. And then also apart from that, infections and stuff, like I said, it can cause like radiation. Like radiation can cause diseases like cancer or um, they say brain tumor, and then we have cancer in women, and also we have like low sperm counts for men. And pretty much that's my items. I don't know.
Those are really good. I didn't even think of the spoons or anything. My items are not as creative as that. I have a pen for my first item, and it's really simple, like just taking notes over people who are like telling you something. Like when you call a doctor, when you're a nurse and you call a doctor, they want to know like the situation, the background, the assessment, everything. So if you have notes on that and written down and you know what you're going to talk about, that makes it a lot easier. So it's just like it just makes the communication a lot easier. My second item is a smartwatch, and that is because you can get like text messages and anything through it. So it makes it a lot easier to communicate because you have it right there. But like Lucy said, you have that like bacteria growth and all of that kind of stuff on it. And it also can get in the way because it's right there. Like it can distract you from your patient or from anybody around you when you're trying to communicate. So those were my 2 items. Definitely not as creative.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's perfect.
I thought they were good. My 2 items were headphones and an avocado. So I kind of related my headphones back to the whole communication thing. Sometimes in healthcare, I think people are the people walking around with both their headphones in, like they like to do their own thing and stick to their own task, get what they need to get done, but they're not always listening and being communicative with everyone else around them. So just like remind, how can we get people to take their headphones off or, leave one in when they're working, and that's more of a metaphorical way to think about it, but just to be more communicative in an environment will make things more accurate and more quality efficiently. And then avocado, I was thinking more of like the nutrition side of stuff. Especially in America right now, we have a lot of obesity issues. And so when you think of an avocado, you're like, wow, it's pretty healthy, right? It's a vegetable. But then when you go back and look at the contents of it, it's a lot of fat and protein that's within the avocado. So it's about proportion sizes and like how much we can affect the healthcare as nurses in the future while thinking about different ways that we can help people to eat healthier fats and but not eat too many fats. So just like different way to look at nutrition, I guess. So yeah, definitely not as good as Lucy still.
And I love avocado, just so you know. So now you're making me feel like I don't want to eat.
I know. Well, I was like, I always eat avocado. Like, you know, put it on some toast or something. But you're like, okay, this is probably healthier than butter, but should I be eating a ton of this like every single day, especially with how popular avocados are? But you got to think of the whole nutritional balance. How can you balance out nutrition in a world of obesity? So, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Okay. So we did that. Let's see. What else do we have to do? I think we covered everything for the first part of it. We kind of flew through that, but
so we had the 2-minute oral presentations.
So,
or do we need to do the 3 components all together?
Yeah, so at least 3 problem-solving issues, scenarios facing healthcare professional teams. So we talked about communication. All of us talked about communication and like good communication and bad communication. So I think that's one of them. Another one that I have thought of throughout thinking about this was conflict resolution, because I know that's what we're talking about like this current week in class. And like everybody solves conflicts differently. What else do you guys think?
I think I mentioned to Ellie earlier about knowing other people's personality and communication styles is a really big important thing in the healthcare field, especially if you work in an emergency room and you're a very blunt person. It's easy to get information, but if you have someone who's a little more reserved and might not be as obnoxious about just like, you know, blurting out everything really quick and fast, might be a little bit harder to communicate. So just being able to know what kind of communication styles are within your team is really important.
How about like having like huddles, you know, like those 3 minutes meetings and just asking people what problems they have, and because sometimes whatever problem I have is not what Ellie or Emily is having. So just having those little things and then sharing and having everybody say what they feel about it.
Yeah, that's a good one. So for the final presentation, what do you guys want to talk about? And what do you want our team name to be?
I had mentioned earlier the communicative nurses.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, do you just want to go with that one then?
Yeah, yeah, we can go with that one.
Okay, and then topic. So I don't know if it's like we're covering all 3 of those conflicts that we talked about, or if we're just picking one. So it says, once the team has completed the above and every team member is ready to present a practice run. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
So from what I kind of take from the instructions was that we have the 3 topics, and then we each are going to be given one topic, so we can split up who wants to do which topic to discuss.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Like 3 topics and each one can get one. So, or if it's one topic, I don't know if it's one, then probably we're gonna have like introduction, then the main body and conclusion. I don't know, but 3 topics sounds better.
Okay, so are we going to do 3 topics?
Sure, I'm okay with that.
Okay, and then, or we could do like communication as like a broad topic and then break it down into, like personality styles, communication styles, conflict resolution, and then, like we can add the huddles as like a way of conflict resolution.
So we could do like communication is an issue in healthcare, and these are 3 different things that help to solve that issue.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so who wants to talk about what when it comes to the presentation?
Lucy, did you want to talk about the huddles since that was your idea?
Sure. Yeah. I'll pick anything.
Or like about group communication, small group communication in general.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, and then I can do the conflict styles or the conflict resolution styles.
Okay.
And I guess I could do the personality styles, which also might correlate with like team building and like getting close to your team, like maybe even outside of work and stuff like that.
Okay. That works. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Sorry, what do you say?
You want to add anything else, or should we move on?
I'm good.
I'm good. We can move on.
Okay. So, what were your guys' individual experiences with this problem-solving activity?
For me, I feel like it was fun, actually, like just trying to see all those ideas from different people. And sometimes you see something and you don't think outside the box about it. And when someone brings it up, you're like, oh, it happens to I. With the avocado and the smartwatches. I think it was pretty fun for me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Lucy that it was a really, like, I feel like we all struggled, like, just trying to figure out what the instructions were, but it's like a very, like, abstract, communicative, creative way to think about how you could solve healthcare and to be like, okay, yeah, we can pretty much solve healthcare problems with everything that we can find around us, you know, especially if you're in quick, choppy medicine. So, I don't know, it's just like a different way to think about communication and teamwork. And I feel like it was a good opening to our final project of how we can solve different communication problems within the healthcare field.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of frustrating to start because we had no idea what we were doing. Like, I didn't think the instructions were all that clear, but then when we actually sit down to do it, it's like, oh, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We just had to think outside the box. But yeah, I thought it was fun for the most part.
Right.
What thoughts and feelings were stimulated by this experience, and how well did each of you respond creatively and in a critical thinking way?
I feel like all of us as individuals are pretty creative people, and that's kind of like a overlying trait that goes with the whole career of nursing, I think, is that you have to be a little bit creative when you're looking at all the different patients and all the different healthcare areas that you can go into. So we had to kind of utilize those tools in addition to the communication style tools we have kind of developed along this class period. So it was kind of fun to use your critical thinking of healthcare in addition to the communication skills we're focusing on in this class.
Yeah, I felt that too.
Did you have anything to add, Lucy?
No, I keep thinking and I'm like, yeah, really, you said it all. I don't have anything to add. I feel like it was really nice, not just to focus on like what we are taught in school or in class, but use our minds to actually find like solutions for different things that we used.
Yeah.
Yeah. In what ways do you sense a positive or negative synergy as a group?
Positive energy. For positive energy, I'll say that we were all, I mean, like you said, when we started out, I mean, I even said, I'm like, I don't know if this is right, this is what we're supposed to do. But as soon as we started talking, and then, you know, as soon as I was done, and then Emily did hers, and I felt like I gained that energy. I'm like, okay, so we are on the right track, and it became interesting. But at first, when I was thinking through it before we had this meeting, I was just like, I really don't know what I'm supposed to talk about, and I don't even know if this is right. And I was not so motivated to do it, but now that we've all used the same kind of like things and thinking, I feel like it's good. I plan maybe to do this next time again. It's fun.
Yeah, I thought overall it was a positive group synergy because we all are able to talk everything out and not like interrupt each other or not listen to what other people have to say. So I think overall it's pretty positive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think our group has a ton of negative personalities in it. I think we're all pretty positive people, but I could see how having a negative personality mixed in the group can make things really difficult to try to talk out.
Let's see. How were your team's confidence, problem solving, and presentation skills developed in and through this experience?
I think that especially Lucy volunteering to go first. I know you're not always super outspoken, but that takes a little bit of confidence to step forward and share your items first, especially when we're not all sure exactly what we were supposed to do. And then definitely the problem solving and presentation skills of being like, okay, I chose this, and it might seem like it doesn't really fit into healthcare, but being able to talk it through and present to others how you problem solved that fitting into healthcare. I think we utilized all those skills in our experience.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think so too, because if we were not confident, I mean, we'll have like a lot of silent moment and stuff. But we're pretty consistent with our talking. We, you know, picking up and just responding to the questions and stuff. So I feel like we are pretty confident with each other.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's overall a good group.
Right.
Overall, we have developed quite well throughout the project. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, it was fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, I think this is the end of this one, and then our next one will be the final presentation.
Okay, that's 14, right? That's the very last week, right?
I think so.
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
You guys.
See ya.